Hi guys, welcome to day number 2 of the Making Cravings Your Best Friend challenge. Today we're going to be talking about what, in my opinion, is the most difficult craving to kick, which is sugar. And my goal for this video is for you to start shifting your mindset to seeing cravings as something that can actually be helpful on your journey to healthy eating rather than just an enemy. When I was in college, I worked at a coffee shop and bakery, and every day they would make these delicious sweet scones. And they didn't want to reuse those scones the next day because they wanted them to be fresh every morning. So at the end of every one of my shifts, I got to take home all the leftover scones. And I can remember one night, it was midnight after a long day, and I sat down and took like 3 or 4 bites out of all 10 scones and felt completely powerless against it. So I just want you to know that I totally understand sugar cravings and how difficult they can be to get rid of. 4 years ago, I was dealing with severe eczema and was trying to get to the root cause of that. And sugar was one of the main culprits. It was contributing to a lot of the inflammation and some other things going on in my body. So I had to buckle down and figure out where those sugar cravings were coming from and what I could do about it. So I want to share just some of those things that I learned as well as some strategies that have been effective for me. So, one of the main reasons you may be craving sugar is because you eat sugar, which sounds kind of weird, but just like any addiction, the more that you eat it, the more you're going to want it. So, our goal is to break that cycle of wanting those sweets. And one way we can do that is by eating more healthy fats. Things like avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds, all of those healthy fats are going to balance your blood sugar so that you don't feel like you need to go eat those other sources of sugar as much. Another reason you might be craving that sugar is because you're simply dehydrated. So, all of my friends would tell you that I carry around a huge water bottle with me all the time, and it looks so ridiculous, but that's something that works for me. And I encourage you to do the same if sugar cravings is something that you're dealing with, because a lot of the time it's simply a dehydration issue. The second main reason why you might be craving sugar is because you might have a gut imbalance. And this is something that has been talked about a lot more in the news, and doctors are talking about it more. And our digestive systems have a balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. And what's happening with the diets that we're eating and the lifestyles that we're living is that the good bacteria is getting overtaken by the bad. And the sugar is essentially feeding that bad bacteria in your gut, which is why you keep reaching for the sweets. So, one way you can solve that problem is by balancing your gut health with probiotics and some other strategies for helping your digestive system. You might see that sugar craving start to go away. The third reason why we crave sugar is because sugar makes us happy. Physically, it gives us endorphins, so it gives us that feeling of being happier. Emotionally, I don't know about you, but when I think about a big bowl of ice cream, I think about being a kid and snuggling up on the couch after dinner. I think about holidays and eating apple pie and birthday parties. So it's really easy for us to associate sugar with good times with family and friends. And one way that we can kind of work around this is to start finding joy in those social situations that's not just around the food. And this is really a baby step kind of thing, because I know when I first started this out, all I wanted to do was eat the chocolate cake and didn't want to try any other strategy. So one way that you can do that is by take a birthday party, for instance. Maybe start focusing on the person next to you, investing in that conversation, and just gradually, with more practice, you can start finding other ways to have joy in those situations rather than the food being the main part. And that leads me to my next point, which is I don't want you to give up sweets. I don't want you to give up having something to celebrate or at holidays, but there are ways to make it healthier. So I personally have desserts multiple times a week, and for every holiday I make something. So some of those alternatives to just like white refined sugar could be honey, pure maple syrup, stevia, dried fruit. Those are all things that are going to be a lot more gentle on your body than white refined sugar would be. If you need something quicker, you can do like sweet fruits and vegetables like carrots, apples, sweet potatoes are one of my main go-tos, and maybe make a homemade trail mix of dried fruit, and that can help curb that craving as well. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about salt, which maybe sugar's not your thing, but maybe you feel like you just can't stop eating chips, or maybe you're like me and you deal with both kinds of cravings, then tomorrow is for you. So I hope that this helps you understand your sugar cravings a little bit more, as well as understanding a couple things that you can do to fix it. Check your inbox tomorrow, and I will be looking forward to seeing you then.